Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello and welcome to the Talent Podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me as always, he's never rushing and he's always dragging. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
Doing great. Fantastic. Superb.
All right,
Eloquent.
Eloquent. You're
adjectives.
doing eloquent.
Yeah, I'm thinking of more adjectives. I'm eloquent right now. I
am eloquent.
Ambidextrous? I don't know.
Be an adverb. I am eloquent would be an adverb.
It probably, I mean, that's what you said.
Well, anyways. Off
to a great start, Adam.
Mike, we are a football podcast. And the Super Bowl happened. The Super Bowl is over. The Super Bowl is in the history books. Seattle Seahawks win by a lot of points versus a New England Patriots team that we all knew were bitch made. Never doubted for a second. Will Campbell, tossed to the trash pile of history. Can't get himself out with his small little turtle arms.
Fucking brutal. They did not play good.
So I wanna do a recurrent segment we say around here. A segment that we run nearly weekly on this podcast called What Does It Do for the Greater Good? Where I want to talk about some fallout items from the Super Bowl, and you tell me if this did anything for the greater good. I don't really know what that means. I kind of threw this together last second because we're just going to do a 32-team mock draft, and I, in my expert producing ways, figured that wasn't going to take a whole hour and 15 minutes. So
yeah, I'll take liberties with whatever the hell that means.
All right. So what does it do for the greater good, Mike? Clint Kubiak officially hired as the Raiders head coach.
I mean, I think the Raiders are getting a good coach. I know the offense wasn't exactly stellar in that Super Bowl, but he did have his run scheme going. Scheme. You know, if you're a team that just drafted Ashton Genty in the top 5, and then you hire the guy who got Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, that's pretty good. That links up pretty well.
Mike, what does it do for the greater good? Kwesi Odafe-Mensah fired in the wake of the Seattle Seahawks making the Super Bowl, as the Vikings were embarrassed that they let Sam Darnold walk, even though the rest of the team was constructed really well.
So Kwesi Odafe-Mensah.
Yeah.
My mind escapes me. Is that the GM for the Vikings?
Most recently, the GM for the Vikings. He is now
no longer. Okay, that's what I figured. What does it do for the greater good? I mean, I think it's a bit reactionary because I think there's so many more things that go into Darnold winning a Super Bowl than just Darnold. It's not like he threw for 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns and carried that team.
No, in fact, he led the league in turnovers.
Yeah, and you watched the Super Bowl. It wasn't exactly him. Like, Darnold didn't have a good game, but he did the one thing the Seahawks need him to do, and it was don't turn the ball over. Just play a clean game.
Darnold didn't have a bad game, is a better way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Because he didn't turn over the ball a single time. And if going into this game, the only stat you had told me is Darnold took 100% of the offensive snaps at quarterback and didn't turn over the ball a single time, I would have been like, oh, so Seattle won by 2 scores.
And then I think, I don't have the numbers up in front of me, I think he took only 2 sacks, maybe 1, at most 2. So he did what he needed to do. And then also when they got, after the first Drake May fumble, they got the good field position and he hit A.J. Barner for the tutty. And really, I mean, the chances of the Patriots coming back from 12-0 with how their offense was playing already seem slim. But once they put that touchdown on the board to go up 19-0, you were like, all right, yeah, this game's definitely over.
They were the first team. By the way, he only took 1 sack. They were the first team. The Patriots were the first team to be scoreless through 3 quarters in the Super Bowl since Super Bowl 9.
Yeah, I think because the Patriots' last Super Bowl before this was Patriots Rams. So should they be suspended from playing in the Super Bowl, like a postseason ban for a few years?
Can we be honest about something here?
Yeah.
No matter how whatever the Super Bowl was, especially compared to last year or like the Bengals Super Bowl, this is better than Patriots Rams. Patriots Rams was god. Like it was like both teams were incompetent. At least this game, it was like, oh, this Patriots team shouldn't be here. Seattle definitely should. This Patriots team shouldn't.
Yeah. Like I texted you about I think I said, it's like the meme. You see the meme where people are like, shout out to all the haters who said whatever. And they're like, honestly, good call by the haters. It's like that. Like all the people who are like, New England had a weak ass schedule. The playoffs fell in their way so good between, a Chargers team that was beat up and Herbert not being great in the playoffs and an inept Houston offense. and then a backup QB in Denver. And unfortunately, they proved all the haters right, and that they did not look. I mean, I texted you at one point a forward text. Those forwards were, "What a fucking joke."
Yeah.
And then I had to clarify, like, I'm talking about the Patriots, because this is just a fucking joke. Not to like come down on them too hard, because at the end of the day, they made the Super Bowl. So, well, I guess just in the end of the day, that's part of the game. The breaks go your way, You
know
can't
what they
fault
say
them
about the
for that.
game?
That's how you play it.
It's how you play it.
That's how you play it. So you can't. Yeah, I don't fault them for that, but I think it was very clear that like, this team's not. Well, I'll let you keep going, because maybe some of the other points I want to say will come up.
Probably not, because the rest of this isn't really about the Super Bowl. Mike.
Oh, okay.
Here's a combination one for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does it do for the greater good? The Ravens are the favorite to win the AFC, and Stafford is 6th in the odds to repeat as MVP.
What does it do for the greater good? It shows us the I mean, it just shows us the volatility of grading quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar is still younger and in his prime, and they have a new regime coming in. So the idea is that this OC and this head coach will vibe better with Lamar, so he'll get back to Lamar MVP status and hence help the Ravens win the AFC. Probably won't happen, just saying. But and then for Stafford, it's all age. It's like, man, that was a crazy season that he just had. Totally deserved. Thank God I would have been on this. I would have been pounding tables on this podcast. I'm so glad he won MVP, even though the NFL awards are a joke, but still. So
their new offensive coordinator is Declan Doyle.
Exactly. That's a cool name. It's alliteration. He's an
cool
alliteration coach.
He is about 3 months older than me.
The NFL has become so I understand it makes sense. The NFL wants to find like the young people,
Mm-hmm.
like the young mind who takes over. More so at head coach than coordinator, but it's still a thing across the board, and I can't wait till we hear like like Fremont High School senior Kevin Jones hired as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Declan Doyle, man, this guy looks like a little. He looks young.
Would you trust someone to run your football franchise if their name was Declan?
Declan does worry me.
Yeah.
Declan does worry me.
Should we do this during the offseason? Should we just do an episode where we go coaching staff by coaching staff and rank them by names?
Yeah. So
what if we just bet that? What if we just bet over-under is based off of names of the coaching staff? I bet we do pretty well.
That'd be a great segment. We should do that.
Yeah.
We should definitely do that. I think it's a little worrisome that he had 1 year as the OC with the Bears, and Bears did great this year, but even Bears fans have to look themselves in the mirror and admit it was a bit vibes fueled.
Also,
there's some of those games that are not going to break that way.
I hate to break it to Declan there, but I have my doubts that Declan showed up and went, "All right, Ben, I saw what you did in Detroit, but I got some real ideas here, all right? I know how to fix this offense."
Shut up, Declan. He was like, "Shut up, Duncan. It's Declan." Whatever.
Who hired a guy named Declan? That's all I got for what it's to do for the greater good, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Successful segment? We'll bring it back in next week like we do every week?
We should bring that back not every week, but at some point. Can I just spout out a couple takeaways from the Super Bowl?
Yeah. You want to do Super Bowl takeaways? You got some Super Bowl takeaways?
Yeah. Any points you want to make? One, you caught on to this before I did, and then eventually I joined that bandwagon. Spot on. The declining play in the Patriots offensive line was a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because for the Patriots, like any play, I mean, really for both teams, but Patriots especially, any play that took like 2 seconds to develop, it was like, yep, you got someone on your back, Drake. Sorry.
Yep.
So that was just like a huge. I mean, I'm a little upset that last turnover May had, because the ball like popped up in the air when the guy swatted it and someone else caught it before it touched the ground. They counted it as an interception.
Yeah.
I was like, count it as a sack. Give him the record, dude. They've been wreaking havoc on this poor man all day. Just give him the record.
Byron Murphy, 2 sacks, by the way.
Byron, you called it.
Called it.
Byron Murphy. I called AJ Barner being an X factor.
Yeah.
Only offensive touchdown.
You
My
know,
boy, A.J. Marner.
I think it turns out that the secret to having good Super Bowl takes is doing a little bit of research and then doing 4 podcasts so you somehow get every single take out on paper. And then you just latch onto the ones that worked for you. For instance, I gave my best bet I gave out was Sam Darnold MVP because if Seattle won, he was probably going to win MVP. He did not win MVP, but I'm not going to bring up that one on the podcast. I'm going to edit it out.
Yeah.
However, I will bring up my Byron Murphy plus 1 sack, which was at like plus 800 or something.
Yeah. I hit big on Julian Love to get an interception.
Yep, you texted me that one right when it happened.
I was very happy. I was pissed at one point because I need to remember the one pass that May threw. I'm going to get to him in a second. One pass that May threw went into like double, damn near triple coverage, and Kobe Bryant came flying in to try to get the pick, and everybody kind of like collided.
Yeah.
And I was like, you son of a bitch. If you didn't come in there, like it would have been like a competition between Mac Hollins and Julian Love, but he would have had a chance at that pick.
Yeah.
So I was pissed, but then it's all right. He helped me out. Real quick on May.
Uh-huh.
That performance in the Super Bowl was terrible. It does make me reevaluate my opinion of him. Not extremely drastically, where I think like, oh no, he's actually dog shit. I still think he's a good quarterback. I think my biggest takeaway was like that shoulder was not good to go.
His shoulder definitely wasn't good to go. I will say he was terrible all playoffs.
That is true. He was terrible all playoffs.
Listen, here's the drop off. Ready? Regular season, 72 completion percentage. Postseason, 58.3. Regular season, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Postseason, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. QBR dropped off by 40 points roughly. Like, he had a real bad postseason.
He did. And that while that game was going on, like especially in the second half when it was clear, like, all right, Seahawks are definitely winning. There was just I reflected on things. Man, this postseason's been so bad for May that kind of makes me rethink where I like consider him in the hierarchy of NFL QBs. And like I said, I'm not going to overreact and be super harsh to him, but there's clear he still has like a step to take because you can sit there and say, oh, he doesn't have good weapons. Well, like there's other quarterbacks who like Patrick Mahomes has won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. All right. And Tom Brady's won Super Bowls with like Danny Amendola. All right. So like I don't want to hear that. So he's got a bit of way to go, but I definitely do think that shoulder was not at all healthy because there were some balls he threw where I was like, am I watching Quinn Ewers all of a sudden? There's like nothing behind that ball. There was like no zip. It was just hanging. It felt like it was hanging out there for 5 straight minutes.
Why you had to drag Quinn Ewers into this? That was rude.
Because I remember that last year at Texas after he suffered like that oblique injury, and then he came back and he just throw some balls where I'd be like, my God, that was like you literally went to your check down. It was like a 2-yard dump route, and it felt like that ball hung in the air for 8 minutes. And that's what it felt like at times with May during this game. So I don't think he was healthy, but I also think that if you were someone poo-pooing on his MVP chances because of who he played, you got a little bit of more fire in the bank. And also, I will say that my thing with May and the Patriots, where I've never seen them with their backs up against the wall, and May's had to go out there and just win a game. And he didn't have to do that at all in the playoffs.
No, good for him. Yeah. Well, he did have the run against Denver that you have to give him some credit for, but yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, Mike. Well, that was the segment that we do every week. I would argue our most famous segment.
Wait.
What does it do for the greater good? What?
Shout out my boy Riley Mills. All right, getting that sack in the Super Bowl. Notre Dame, baby. Did you see that sack, by the way? He didn't just sack Drake May. He sacked his offensive lineman, too.
Yeah.
He pushed his lineman back into May and took both their bitch asses down. Go Irish.
I like how the playoff run was so bad for the Patriots offensive line that since they lost the Super Bowl, Mike Vrabel has had to come out and publicly defend Will Campbell. Like, that's how bad the offensive line was that a head coach, in the wake of losing a Super Bowl, has to be out here defending an offensive lineman. 15 years ago, no one could name a left tackle on a team that wasn't their team. Now, Mike Vrabel is doing press conferences about Will Campbell.
His season started good, and then he dealt with injuries.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Right?
Him and May are both hurt. Like and as much as I love to be a Drake May hater, I would say the only person on earth who hates Drake more than I do is Kendrick. So, and it's sports hate, to be clear.
Yeah.
Because I need Jaden Daniels to be better than Drake May. But like, to be a Drake May defender for a second, his shoulder was obviously hurt. This report came out that he got a bunch of shots in his shoulder right before the Super Bowl, which is a very LeBron storyline. This wouldn't have been a thing we heard about if they had won, or if he had played well and they lost. It was PR. And since Will Campbell, T-Rex Arms Will Campbell, came back from a hip injury, he didn't play well. Though that can be a 1-to-1 comparison there. We don't need to be like, too much tape out on Will Campbell. They know how to beat him. They knew how to beat him already. He's got short arms. If you can keep him away from your body and he can't get anchored in, you can beat him. He's a good left tackle. I like Will Campbell. He's not going to be Trent Williams.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what do short arms do for the greater good?
Makes it tougher to reach things. Yeah.
Makes it
Or
tougher
someone
to
can
reach
just put their like hand on your forehead and you're just like.
I wonder what like the parabolic arc on it is, because obviously when you get like Kevin Durant arms, you would also not be a very good offensive lineman.
That's true. Too long.
Too long.
Football scouts are assholes. Arms too short. No, those ones are too long.
This is the combine outlier team, because Stephon Diggs is slow as shit. Will Campbell has short arms. Drake May has small hands. This is the combine question mark team.
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez might be on the Epstein list. We haven't checked.
He played very good. It was
I know.
not his fault they lost. I'll tell you that.
That's why I'm upset about it, because my whole Christian Gonzalez fell off thing really looked fucking stupid the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Mike, what we're really here to do, we don't care about the Super Bowl that much as a company.
It's over. It's done.
We only care about awards in the NFL draft, and awards aren't handed out at the end of the regular season, so we're not talking about them. We only care about awards talk in the NFL draft.
All right.
And as such, the only thing left on the horizon to look forward to, Mike, is the NFL draft. And while we have done, so far on the year, 5, or maybe 6, I didn't count, 5 or 6 10-player mock drafts already this year. We're really blowing it out this time, Mike. We're doing a 32-player mock draft, going back and forth, picking player after player, getting in there, giving you analysis, making great picks. If you are wondering how high the running back for Notre Dame, Julian Love? No. See, I get fucked up because of the fucking cornerback. It's Jordan Love. It's Jeremiah Love.
There you go.
It's if you're wondering how high Jeremiah Love is going to go in this draft, the answer is whatever Mike's third pick is. With that, Mike, we have a little bit of homework to do on our way into this. So we are already in the lobby. It's up on your screens now. This is where we'll be doing our draft. This is the PFF mock draft simulator. We'll be going back and forth here. So the things we have to take into consideration are draft position and team need. I'm going to say no trades this time. We can figure out a system for how trades are going to work in the future. If we want to do this again, maybe we'll do it on a live stream.
You offer trades, and then you decide if you want the trade I offer you.
Yeah, so we're not going to do that.
Okay, no trades this time, right?
Because also then what if you want to trade up with yourself? What if it makes sense for, say you have evens and it makes sense for the Bills to trade back with the Broncos for team needs? How are we going to judge what's a fair trade or not? You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So we'll figure it out another time. So no trades. So the two things we have to take into consideration are draft position and team need. Now, Mike, we have to decide our draft order here. And I have a few different propositions for you for how we do this. 1, you're the draft expert here. You initially pitched just doing evens and odds, but I want to give you the option here to take the first 3 picks in a row in exchange for canceling the Sabres playoff bet.
No, Sabres are making the playoffs, so I'm going to cancel that bet.
It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Mike, my other thought on it before we just settle on doing evens or odds is since you are a fan of the Buffalo Bills and I'm a fan of the Washington Commanders, I figured we could do it by conference, where you could take the AFC and I could take the NFC.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, that's why before we got going and you were like, shut up, we're going to talk about it on the pod, I was going to say you take odds, I take evens, because the commies have an odd pick and the Bills have an even pick.
Yeah. I think either one of those systems makes sense. It's just dependent on what you prefer.
That's fine. I'm down for either. What were you feeling?
Let's go AFC NFC split. That way, we get some weird shit going on. I can sit back and sip my coffee for the first 1, 2
picks.
I guess 3 of the first 4 picks, and then
all right.
I got a little bit of run later on. But we'll split it that way, Mike. So
I'm gonna start clicking all the AFC teams.
We're selecting our teams here. All right, feel free to launch it whenever you're ready. We're gonna get in there. Right. This will be a recurring thing. I think that since football's over, and we're going down to one podcast a week, which is also something we should warn people about. We're going to drop down to one football podcast a week, probably up until we're about a month out from the draft. And then we'll bounce up to two to do 2 draft pods a month, and then really drop down to 1. But there's going to be some open slots on the schedule. I figured this wouldn't be a bad thing to live stream in an open slot here or there. Just get in there, do some mock drafts, talk it through.
I like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right, so I under settings, we're only doing 1 round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One round.
7. Right. And then I put the pick timer at the max amount. It's 120 seconds. It's the best that's the most you can do.
Okay, so wait. That's going to make this, at most, this would be 64 minutes. So I think we're good.
So, and I doubt we'll even take that long. So, all right.
And worst case scenario, we can
draft.
always run 2 of them if we just burn through it. All right, Mike, you're first on the board.
We're not going to
like...
be doing trades, so I'll go ahead and hit ready. And we're good to go.
Yep. And also,
right.
I don't have to make the decision at number 2, which I think is actually the first hard part of this draft.
It kind of is. So I'll just go ahead and go chalk here.
Yeah.
Raiders get their QB.
Yep. So Fernando Mendoza, number 1 pick off the board. I have to say this out loud in case people aren't watching it and they're just listening. So Fernando Mendoza, number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike's on the clock at pick 2 now with the New York Jets.
There's no quarterback that I consider to be worth, at this point, completely overdrafting at 2. So I think Jets are just going to go best player on the board.
Well, let me ask you this about the Jets.
Yeah.
If we were doing trades, are the Jets a trade back candidate, or do you think this team's so shit and they've been so shit for so long, just take best player on the board?
I think they're a strong trade back candidate, especially if the person who wants to trade you is going to give you like their first this year and then maybe another first next year. Like if you can get a good deal, I definitely take it. But in the world of no trades, let's go ahead and take the monster that is Ruben Bain.
Yeah. So I'm on the clock at pick number 3 with the Arizona Cardinals, another trade back team. You know, I bet a lot of teams wish that this was the draft 2 years ago when it was Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May.
Yeah,
and
probably.
I guess Bo Picks down below. By the way, you see the Sean Payton, Bo Nix ankle injury thing or foot injury thing?
Oh yeah, where he was like, I don't know why he's speaking on that. He doesn't know my injury history. Like, whoa, okay.
Wild. So kind of similarly here, I think that this is also going to end up being pretty chalky to start with because the Cardinals clear trade back team. All these QB needy teams at the top. This is not the strongest draft in terms of top end talent. I don't feel like. I feel like this is a draft that has like a lot of solid depth and a few real good blue chip players. So you can make a case for Arvil Reese at 3, which is probably what I'm going to end up taking. Obviously, the Cardinals need like a good bit of help on defense and on offense and at quarterback because they're probably saying goodbye to Kyler Murray here any second now. And they brought in a new head coach in Mike LaFleur. But yeah, I was waiting for that. For now, I'm going to go Arvil Reese, linebacker out of Ohio State to the Arizona Cardinals at 3. Mike, you're back on the clock with the Tennessee Titans. Let me ask you this. So Tennessee Titans, potential team talent alone next year?
Potential.
Potential
for that.
Who early on? So team talent alone, for those of you who are new to this, every year we pick a team that we follow for the regular season, and we do 2 segments on them a week roughly. We give a preview segment and a reaction segment. The only qualifications are it has to be a team that didn't make the playoffs in the previous season, and it cannot be one of our 2 homer teams. So that is the Washington Commanders and the Buffalo Bills. So who's like a front runner in your head early on for that?
I think the Titans are definitely one. I'm waiting to see what the Saints can do. See if they can kind of suck me in.
Saints. I think the Raiders aren't a bad pick. Clint Kubiak, Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, but you're on the clock at 4, Mike, with the running back needy Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, but there's also you could go so many places with the Titans and it'd be a good pick because there's not a great roster. So I'm thinking maybe David Bailey, just keep it chalk here. But that's boring, right?
That is boring. And David Bailey's not exactly like the world's biggest prospect or the world's best looking prospect.
Yeah, I mean he had a monster year, really good. What if we shook it up here?
You're going to go Jeremiah Love, aren't you?
They decided, you know what? We have to get a running back to help out Cam Ward. You know what? And so they go ahead and they take him.
Mike, the joke I made before the podcast about where Jeremiah Love was going to go, I said whatever Mike's third pick is. No, I am correct. I said whatever Mike's third pick is, and that's your third pick. All right, so New York Giants on the clock now. So I get why PFF says this. PFF says they're wide receiver needy. It would be absurd in this class for the Giants to take a wide receiver here, with the fact that they have a absolute stud wide receiver 1 and some good like receiving depth around them. Yeah. If I was them, I would just simply take a quarterback. So with that being said, their defense is bad. Their defensive line is supposed to be good. This could be a Mansour Delane spot. This could be a Caleb Downs spot. Their linebackers are bad too. Their offensive line is better, but not great. I think I'm going to go offensive line just because team need and positional versatility. So I'm going to go Francis Mauigoa out of Florida. Francis Mauigoa to the New York Giants. Mike, you're on the clock. Pick number 6, the Cleveland Browns. What are you thinking here?
I was thinking Francis Mauigoa, honestly.
Well, now you can't have him. You can draft a quarterback to go with their 5 other quarterbacks.
5 other ones. Yeah. I don't know if they do that here. Probably don't go edge.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Outside of Fernando Mendoza, is there any quarterback in this draft that you think would start over the current Browns roster?
Yeah, like I think Garrett Nussmeier is a better quarterback than Shadur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. Call me crazy.
I don't think it's going to be outrageous if the Browns take Nussbus here. Like maybe, like I could see him as like an offseason climber. Like I don't think that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah. I think here they go for a little flash. Probably should just go tackle or guard. But I'd say they go for a little flash, and they could take Carnell Tate, more steady-handed receiver, but they want to get the playmaker, so they go a little Malachi Lemon.
Malachi Lemon. All right, Washington Commanders.
It's a lemon party.
It's a lemon party. Washington Commanders on the board. David Bailey in a precipitous fall right now. He would make sense for the Commanders to take. They need an edge defender, but come on. He's been mocked here all year, ever since the Commanders started to trickle up the draft order. The Commanders secondary did not play well last season. Some of that scheme, some of that's a little bit of a regression from Mike Santrasill. Marshawn Lattimore is in the twilight years of his play. Now they do have some talent at safety, but sometimes you just got to take the best player on the field and know that sometimes, like even if it's a hat on the hat, you just go with it, brother. Caleb Downs, top player on the board.
Let's go.
Going to Washington. Best player in the draft, buddy. All right, I'm still on the clock with Mike's favorite team, the New Orleans Saints here.
Tyler Shuck.
The Saints are interesting because they have like pieces all over the place, and it's all starting to kind of come together. And I honestly think they're like a good offseason away from a really good team.
Dude, they played good down the stretch of the season, so it's tough not to be like, oh, they might have something brewing here.
Yeah, I don't like. I would no question take a defensive lineman here if they hadn't traded away Rashid Shaheed. Olave is always hurt, and like outside of that, man, you got the guns, you got the scheme. The offensive line isn't as fucking terrible as I thought it was going to be. Their defense has issues, but like I think Kool-Aid McKinstry improved in the second season. I think they had some talent at safety, so I'm just gonna fucking go for it, brother.
Roll down.
I'm gonna go Carnell Tate.
Second wide receiver off the board. Right.
It's Chris Olave Insurance. That's Carnell Tate's nickname these days. They call him Olave Insurance.
Olave Insurance. So this is where I'm on the clock now with the disgusting, reprehensible Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm just gonna check what the top kicker is because that's who I assume you're gonna take here.
Led by quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who I have sources who tell me he likes to go to orphanages and just punch orphan children for fun. And then he offers them money and he offers to adopt them, and then he goes, "Just kidding, you parentless loser. I've heard he does this for fun."
He also shreds his own wide receivers ACLs for fun.
Yes, he does. I like Andy Reid though. He's a good guy. Anyway,
looks like a walrus.
Tough. So honestly, before you made your Saints pick, I was thinking Carnell Tate goes here.
Yeah,
they definitely need wide receiver.
I mean, you got Jordan Tyson on the board, who was for a long period of time the top wide receiver on the board. You could go tackle. They had poor tackle play last year, and they had injuries going back to the Super Bowl the year before. So another guy that was higher up and fell down, and Spencer Fano. I mean, there's almost no way to go wrong. This team has a lot of issues, and a lot of them on the offensive line.
Yeah, let me consult. Let me consult with someone. Kuiper, what do you think? Nope, they can't take Shadur Sanders, Kuiper. God damn it! All right.
For audio listeners, Mike would just pull Mel Kiper into the room with him.
I did.
So-
Yeah. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll. They're going to go farther down some of the big boards, but I think they like this guy. I think they like little Spencer Fano.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. You're still on the board here with the Bengals, who
The Bengals. Oh boy.
you just basically need anything that isn't a quarterback or a wide receiver to make this team competitive. They were healthy all year basically, and still missed the playoffs by a wide margin.
Yeah, I mean, there's arguments you could make. It would be an admittance of the organization that they fucked up with Shadur Sanders to go edge rusher. So I think they'll go a little more inside. We'll get our first Clemson player off the board, a little Peter Woods.
Yeah, I almost took him earlier for the Saints too.
Yeah.
All right, still on the board with the Dolphins. This could be the Nuts Bus team, Mike. Although, according to PFF, the next quarterback off the board is Ty Simpson.
Wrong.
Ty Simpson. Yeah, there's no way. There's no
Call me
fucking way
after
Ty
the
Simpson's
combine.
the second quarterback off the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Garrett Nussmeier was obviously just hurt all year, right? That was the issue.
Yeah.
All right, Mike is thinking very hard here. So,
Oh no, I said yeah. He was dealing with a similar thing. He had an oblique injury. They thought it was something else. It turned out to be an oblique, and it was just bothering
did
him
he play for the Orlando Magic?
all year. No, but people like the oblique injuries. I mean, it just sounds like, oh, you got like your tummy hurts, but no, I mean, like those that hurt. Like, you imagine not being able to like really rotate your body and get your legs into a throw.
Hey, Mike, do me a favor.
Brutal.
Stand up and point to your oblique real quick.
Right? It's the abdomen. Correct.
For audio listeners, Mike pointed at every single part beneath
Of my
his
stomach.
ribcage and above his belt.
Yeah, but that's what it's like. The abdomen, isn't it?
It's the small muscles that run along the sides of your hips.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. The abdomen.
You're running out of time here, Mike, on your pick.
Oh shit! I forgot that I'm on the clock again with the Dolphins. Wow, you can't go really wrong anywhere with them. They could use a quarterback. It's where the first QB comes off the board.
First QB already came off the board, buddy.
The second QB comes off the board. I'm gonna go with crazy. After the combine, he's not, the size ain't great for what NFL teams probably want. Actually, the size is good. Screw it. He doesn't get the waiver. Little Trinidad in Miami, baby.
When at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yep.
All right, I'm on the board with the Dallas Cowboys. You know what they need is probably players on defense. I think this is probably like as
David Bailey's still out there.
I know, as fucking boring as it is, this is probably the David Bailey falling spot.
Yeah.
David Bailey, very productive, just hasn't played enough traditionally. This was the first year that he eclipsed 500 defensive snaps. It's the first year that he started all regular season games, but he ended up playing really well, 15 sacks. The concerning part is, Mike, he's a senior when he had a breakout. Don't love to see the old guy break out. That's never good. But hey, you know what? They got Donovan Ezeriku in that outside linebacker spot. I like him a lot. They got some pieces along their secondary that I like, including Deron Bland, who they did not have to cut, unlike some other people. You just got to start building the defense. Listen,
And
if PFF claims they need a running back, you don't need a running back. You made Javonte Williams a viable fantasy running back. You could plug anyone into that fucking system, man.
if like a Bailey or an Ezeraku kind of bulked up a little bit, right? To where you could actually play them like inside on the line at the actual defensive end position. Then you would also have the other one playing that OLB edge rusher position.
Yeah, like like defensive end versus edge. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. So David Bailey to the Cowboys. I think that's probably an easy pick. All right, I got the Rams on the board. You know who would be great as a backup quarterback for the Rams? It's Trinidad Chambliss.
Also, just for clarifications for people who don't realize, this is was supposed to be Atlanta's pick, but they really wanted to get Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. So it is.
And
now
how
the
is that
Rams' pick.
working out for them, Mike?
I mean, they both had solid years. James Pierce Jr. actually played really good.
Yeah, but he is now being indicted on many felonies. So
That's right. Gotta watch out for those felonies.
Yeah, watch out for those felonies. You got to not hit a WNBA player with your car. So what can they use then? What can they use? You know what I don't like about their secondary?
What?
It's all cast off Washington Commanders.
Okay.
So it's Emmanuel Forbes and what's his face at safety. So this could be a cornerback team. The question is, who do you think they like better, Gerard McCoy or Mansour Delane?
Ooh, stuff. Probably Jermod McCoy.
Yeah, I mean, Jermod. Yeah, I called him Gerard, didn't I?
That's not your fault. Jermod's a weird name.
It's not your fault. What's Jermod's? How tall and what's his height and weight?
We got Jermod McCoy. This wants to load at any point. That'd be cool. Sitting at according to PFF, sitting at 6'1", 193.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with McCoy. I don't know what their arm measurements are. I think that they like a lengthy corner though, especially because that was the kind of guy who gave JSN some trouble. And when you are in Seattle's division, you got to plan with how to stop the best player. So Jermod McCoy to the Los Angeles Rams via the Atlanta Falcons. Mike, you are the clock. Pick 14. The AFC Conference Championship favorite, Baltimore Ravens.
There's there's other places you could go here, maybe somewhere in the trenches to help them out more. But I think a big thing with Todd Monken's out, new regime. They want to get Lamar cooking again back to an MVP. I think they're going to get more weapons for him. I think they're going to go wide receiver. Jordan Tyson, Denzel Boston.
I would bet my whole fucking life they go wide receiver or defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because they brought in Jesse Minter. So Mike went Jordan Tyson. I had Jermod McCoy on the brain so hard. When Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State, to the Baltimore Ravens. I'm now on the clock with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I don't know, man. Their offense was potent, so I hesitate to go offense. PFF has their top needs as tight end and guard, which I get from the interior line perspective, but this is not a first round draft at either one of those positions, in my opinion.
Sonny Styles sounds like a Tampa Bay Buccaneer to me.
He does sound like a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He's also fallen in the draft a little bit. He is more of a traditional linebacker than your, say, Arvell Reese, who gets his hand in the dirt a little bit more often. So they had a really good run defense and a really poor pass defense last year, which was the whole shtick on them up until that Patriots game. Then their run defense even kind of fell off. But I kind of think this is just another team who can use some secondary help. I'm trying to think if there's anyone. If you're listening to PFF, this would be the Kenyon Sadiq spot. But I'm not listening to PFF, and I'm kind of thinking who would be someone that could help them out a lot in their pass coverage. So I guess it would be Sonny Styles or Mansour Delane, because Sonny Styles is going to help them against running backs, which they really struggled against. Yeah. Despite having still relatively in their prime linebackers. But I think I'm going to go Mansour Delane. I think I'm going back-to-back, and in my side of the draft, back-to-back defensive backs, quarterback out of LSU to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike, you are now on the clock with the New York Jets' second pick. One of two first-round picks they received from Indianapolis. I almost called him Indiana. Indianapolis for Sauce Gardner. Would you like to draft a cornerback here?
So that's one thought. For them to go ahead and replace Sauce, but you just took Mansour Delane, so I'd be going a little farther down the board then. You got Avion Terrell. I know I drafted Peter Woods earlier, but honestly, I have questions about some of the top Clemson picks.
May I read you their current starting defensive line?
Sure.
Braden McGregor, Harrison Phillips, Kalen Souders, Jeremiah Johnson, and then their linebackers Cam Jones and Jamin Sherwood. How many of those guys have you heard of before this?
Not many. And I was thinking I went out earlier in the draft, snagged Aaron Glenn, some Ruben Bain, premier edge, defensive end, edge rusher. Now we can move back inside. We get a defensive interior player, a guy I'm pretty high on, and just really beef up that defensive line. Let's say you could say quarterback here. They waited till 16. They'll grab the Simpsons, the Nusses, or they say, we'll worry about QB next year. Let's keep beefing up in the trenches on defense. A little Caleb Banks, baby.
Big
no
motherfucker.
One's moving the ball.
6'6",
no one's moving
330.
the ball on these Jets. Yep.
Caleb Banks out of Florida, interior defensive lineman. All right, I'm on the board for the next 4 picks in a row. My first one up, I have the Detroit Lions, who, man, hey, you know what hurt them a lot was Frank Ragnow retiring and then coming back and not getting medically cleared.
Oh. Yeah, that hurt him.
Yeah, that wasn't great. This seems like a classic trade back team. But I think they could just go in, like the best interior defensive player or interior offensive lineman on the board here. And you want to tell me how to pronounce this guy's name?
Interior offensive lineman?
Yeah. You want to tell me how to pronounce that guy's name?
The kid from Penn State.
Yeah, there you go. The guard from Penn State.
Yeah, that's what they're going to say. Jerry Tagum? Oh, yeah. Olivier Iona? Ione? I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings, who we were talking about ahead of time. Who... Quarterback? Is that insane? Is that insane if they take a quarterback, Mike?
Nah, it's got to get him more reps. Give him some...
Listen, I'm not trying to take this. I'm not trying to do a bit. I am simply saying team need, timeline, and what I would do as the GM.
Gary Nussmeier.
Gus.
The pressure's on.
Garrett Nussmeier. The Nuss bus is in the building. Is he older than JJ McCarthy?
He might be. Nuss bus is that doesn't tell me that, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, so he's going to figure that out. While he's doing that, I'm on the clock as the playoff berth Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers have a lot of picks in the draft this year, which is an important thing to remember. But their first round pick, 19, just outside of the lottery, as we would call it.
Yes.
He's older.
McCarthy is 23 years old as of February 2026. And as of February 7th, Garrett Nussmeier is 24 years old.
There you go. Bring in some veteran leadership. Carolina, so PFF says wide receiver, which once again, I understand. But they went wide receiver in the first round last year with Ted McMillan. There's better wide receivers on the board next year. And you just need to win the NFC South. Keep winning the NFC South. You're not a Super Bowl contender yet. And what do you do, Mike, when you're not a Super Bowl contender?
You just beef up at the important positions along the line.
You beef up along the line, and you just take shots. So, the question is, do we go best interior defensive lineman, best outside defensive lineman, or best offensive lineman on the board? I am going to take a guy who fell in the draft so far, and I understand it. We're talking about a guy who has not had much production, but I'm going to take a bet on him. I'm going to take Keldrick Falk. To Carolina. Taking shots, that's the important thing here. And now my last of my marathon of picks in a row. The Dallas Cowboys, who got this pick in the Micah Parsons trade, so of course they'll be taking an edge defender. I'm just kidding. I gotta stop the Sonny Styles fall.
Damn it.
I know. It's time. It's time to stop the Sonny Styles fall. Once again, they have Donovan Ezeriku. Now, earlier in the draft, we got them a cornerback, right? No, we got them David Bailey. So we got them an edge rusher. Just keep beefing up the defense. Listen, you got Dak Prescott, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got the ghost of George Pickens, who's going to just leave a George Pickens-shaped hole in the wall on his way out of town. You have a good running game coordinator. I think Brian Schottenheimer proved himself to be an apt play caller last year. And the offensive line, you drafted on there in the first round, and they held up pretty well. So just stay on the defensive side of the ball. Your defense was fucking atrocious. Sonny Styles fall stops. Linebacker out of Ohio State, Sonny Styles, goes to Dallas at pick 20. Mike, pick 21. You're on the clock with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Damn, you sniped me on that one. That's who I was gonna take to Pittsburgh, believe it or not.
More like Pittsburgh, am I right?
Ayo. This changes the calculus, as the kids say.
This changes everything.
Changes everything. I mean, they could use some defensive back help. That's no lie. They need a QB still.
What, you don't think they want that Minka Fitzpatrick trade?
I don't think they did. Is this where they take the...
Let's not forget. New regime in town. And the question is, what does Mike McCarthy want more than anything? And the answer can't be hot dogs.
Can't be hot dogs. I don't think their line is terrible. Personally.
I would guess middle of the pack.
Yeah, kind of middle of the pack. So I don't know if they would...
Let me ask you this. Was Pittsburgh the least interesting team in the NFL last year?
Yes, they were. That is correct. Which is making this decision all the more harder. So I'm going to go ahead and say they just try to help out that secondary here. He's the highest cornerback on the board. He's probably not the guy who I'd take here personally, like if I was ranking the cornerbacks. But this isn't a great corner class, in my opinion. So yeah, we'll go ahead and go a little Avion Terrell here for the Steelers.
And now you're on the clock.
And I'm
with
on the clock again.
Chargers.
And there's certain ways you go with the Chargers. And some would say you want to go more interior offensive line. But here's the thing. Joe Alt suffered injuries, and it killed this team. So you know what's...
Rayshon Slater, too. Both their exterior offensive linemen, yeah.
Yeah. So what if you just got a little insurance for that?
You gonna get a backup tackle in the first round?
All right, no, I guess I'm not. Adam said it was a dumb idea.
That is a dumb idea. What do you mean?
I just thought maybe they'd maybe trade one of those injury-prone motherfuckers. All right. In that case, we'll change it up. Get them some better bona fide pass rushers. This is a dude I fucking love in this draft. A little dope name too. Should have been a boxer if not a football player. A little cash as hell.
Gee, I wonder why you think he should have been a boxer. Was there ever a boxer named Cassius?
No, never, ever.
No.
In the history of all time.
All right, I'm on the board with the Eagles. This feels like it's almost definitely an Eagles trade back or an Eagles have already traded up move because it's the fucking Eagles.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for me taking Sonny Styles at 20, he probably would have fallen here. Here's a question for you. What do we think is going to happen with A.J. Brown? Is A.J. Brown on the way out of town?
I think he's out.
Brown's out?
Mm-hmm. It could happen on this very day.
It could happen on this very day. So
Not
if
like
we
today,
say Brown's...
like draft day.
It could happen today too, though. If we're saying Brown's out, their biggest need is at an X receiver spot. I like Devontae Smith. You need all the help you can get with Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback, especially when you're talking about on the outside of the numbers. Give him a big body. Denzel Boston. What? Denzel Boston, brother.
Denzel
From Washington. My allergies kicked in halfway through that sentence. So Denzel Boston, the wide receiver out of Washington, 6'4". Another big body from the throw to. Little thin, little skinny guy. 6'4", 209. I guess he's not that skinny, but he's not like A.J. Brown, 225.
Yeah.
But now you have these two lengthy point of attack receivers, big bodies. Just efforts go out there and fucking check it out, brother.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm on the
you're
clock.
As the
Cleveland
Browns via Jacksonville.
Yep, because Jacksonville really wanted to trade up Travis Hunter to have no idea what to do with him. So
this is
earlier,
the second Browns pick. The first time you took Malachi Lemon.
But you know what? If they're going to try out Shedeur, Shedeur is going to need time to get the ball to Malachi Lemon. So here is where we go on down
I think I fucked
to
this both up.
Tuscaloosa. Roll damn tide. Caden Proctor.
All right,
there you go. Tackle off the board.
Tackle off the board. All right, I'm on the board with the Chicago Bears. I don't know, man. Like, made a run to the divisional round and got it to overtime against the Rams. It's not exactly the weakest team on paper. They had a lot of cornerback injuries, which doesn't necessarily mean they need to go secondary. Who's the next best safety on the board? Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo. And what picks does Chicago have? Let's see here. What picks do you have? The Bears have 25, 57, and 89 as their top three picks.
Mm-hmm.
They could reach on a safety. I mean, it'd be like a trade back and get a safety day of. I could see them reach on a safety because that's like really their big need is like the far defensive back. They got slaughtered on the ground a little bit in the playoffs. I don't know, man. This is a pretty good team. What if they get a third tight end? What if they have another tight end? Cole Kmet. What's his face? Who you hated because it wasn't Tyler Warren. And Kenyon Sadiq. Be potent. I'm just saying. They also have a million wide receivers, so I'm not going wide receiver. I don't know, man. When in doubt, just go just go defensive line. Just get in there. Gabe McDonald, Ohio State, highest rated player on the board according to PFF. That was my pick. You're on the clock, Mike. That's the Buffalo Bills.
With the Buffalo Bills, my team. Oh boy, my 1 year bud keeps falling out, and it's making me angry.
Use the bigger rubber thing.
Obviously, the big
like
thing
how you can take it off
stay
and replace it with a bigger little like ear insert thing, so it doesn't fall off your ear. Just use the bigger one.
Wide receiver.
Did it come with a bigger one? Did it come? Was it like in a little baggie with multiple?
Just give it one size. I'm trying to make a pick here. Wide receiver, obviously. Defensive back, obviously. Brandon Beane could continue his literally like career-long journey to finally get some good pass rush out of the draft, which he keeps failing at. Linebacker is a concern, but there's not a linebacker here that I'm like, yeah, first-round grade for sure. Casey Concepcion's out there. I don't like. He's a little small, 5'11", 190. Not what I'd be looking for at this spot. Brandon Cease out there as well.
Which would be great because if you get him, every time that he breaks up a pass, he could tell everyone to cease and desist.
Cease and desist. On this big board on PFF, they're saying the best player right now is TJ Parker. Call me crazy. A dude who sees his production drop by 50%.
Yeah, I didn't love that.
Year to year. That's a red flag. So I'm doing it. You're calling me crazy. I'm gonna go down to the dude who was on the other side of Ruben Bain, who constantly got forgotten about but was a monster. Akeem Mesidor. We're gonna double up. A little Greg Rousseau, a little Mesidor, the fucking U on both ends.
Boy, you better hope you go wide receiver at every other draft pick.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on the board. San Francisco. They basically just need to not get hurt. Is really it. Like they would benefit a lot from not constantly being injured. I could see them going with a quarterback to potentially be the guy of the future. I could see them going with a tackle to be the guy behind Trent Williams if Trent Williams ever falls off. But really, what they probably need is insurance on the defense. Now the defense is falling apart. And, God, I'm not taking TJ Parker. I don't give a fuck. I'm not taking TJ Parker for a fucking second. Let me tell you that. Man, it gets tough here at the bottom of the draft, doesn't it?
Bottom of the draft. We're still in the first round.
Bottom of the first round, motherfucker. All right. Why don't we go a little bit further down the lineup chart here? They lost Brandon Ayuk. They lost Deebo Samuels. George Kittle tore his Achilles. Christian McCaffrey's aging out. At some point, they're going to need someone to throw the ball to. How about a little Chris Bell? Prototypical X receiver size. A little bit underrated. Was that a Louisville? No one even knows who the quarterback in Louisville was.
It was Miller Moss, and he didn't play very well.
I know, man. I like it better than taking a real undersized dude in Casey Concepcion when you already have a undersized quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and Chris Bell.
Yeah.
Along with eventually Kittle returns. Pretty good receiver core. As long as they don't get injured or shot.
Yeah.
Or get into a contract dispute and leave the team.
All right. So I'm up with the Houston Texans. Hell of a defense. Hell of a defense they had this year.
Uh-huh.
So their number one priority is we got to get this offense home and we got to fix CJ Stroud. They got 2 receivers last year, both out of Iowa State. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. No, you have Jalen Lane.
Whatever. Same guy.
Yeah.
Actually, Jalen Lane's a really good punt returner. I'm sorry, Jalen.
Yeah. And so who I'm about to take is this position is even listed on like their team needs. But you know what? Last year the Bears had Cole Kmet and no one thought tight end was on their team needs, and they took one. And that's what the Texans are going to do here. Best tight end in the draft, Kenyon Sadiq.
Dude,
the Houston Texans.
Dalton Schultz and Kenyon Sadiq. The fucking rules.
12 personnel, baby. 12 personnel.
They're probably getting out there on 13 personnel, and CJ Stroud's going to average, 2.3 yards an attempt or something?
Yeah.
All right, we are on to the Rams. I'm not even fucking... This team is such a trade-back team, if you ask me.
Ty Simpson.
Like...
Right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking a few different quarterback.
Drew Aller.
Yeah, it's going to be, Drew Aller because he's, 21 years old, right?
Diego Pavia.
Well, Diego Pavia is older than Matt Stafford, so that doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's true.
I don't really know what the weakness is here, man. So we already drafted earlier for them at the Falcons pick. We got them their cornerback of the future. So we don't necessarily have to go cornerback. Now, I mean, their secondary isn't strong across the board, so they could go safety here.
Mm-hmm.
They are definitely going to trade back from this pick or take an offensive lineman. So I could just go offensive lineman here. I kind of want to go Ty Simpson. I'm between the two tackles that are left on the board, which is Caleb Lamu, who is currently a redshirt sophomore. Like to see that. Give him some time to grow into his spot.
Mm-hmm.
And Monroe Freeling, who I believe is a big motherfucker, right? Yeah, 6'7", 315. Just, you know what? Just go with the biggest motherfucker on the board. Who's at a position you need. It's either between those two guys at Ty Simpson. I'm going Monroe Freeling. Monroe Freeling out of Georgia at offensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, you are on the board with the Denver Broncos.
Right. So I could say, some people are like, oh, get a running back. No, because I don't know if it was R.J. Harvey's fault. Could have been a little bit. R.J. Harvey was kind of raw coming out of college. He needs more time. You could say, oh, maybe get some help interiorly on the offensive line, especially center. There's no center I'm taking in the first round in this draft. So that's not happening. And they don't care about stacking up on their strength side of the ball, which is defense. So I think they get some more help defensively. They're already stacked at defensive back. They're already stacked on that line. I've talked about him. PFF doesn't think he's first grade worthy. I do. Anthony Hill Jr. to Mile High.
There you go. Anthony Hill Jr. to Mile High to replace Alex Singleton? Dre Greenlaw?
Wait for Dre Greenlaw to break something.
Wait for Alex Singleton to have to get his other testicle removed?
Yeah.
All right, so the Patriots have a lot of needs. This could be the TJ Parker, finally, precipitous fall ends. Right. They had more success on the interior than the exterior. Mm-hmm. However, you know what was really bad was their offensive line.
Yeah, I think they got some dudes on there, though. Obviously, Jared Wilson, Will Campbell when he's healthy, and if another year of production, they think he'll be all right. I think they're going, you know what? We got the stud QB. Let's get him a little something to play with. Let's get him a little gadget guy. Let's get him a weapon out there. Casey Concepcion. You're a New England Patriot, buddy.
There you go. It's the most New England Patriot motherfucker on the planet. If he was a white guy, he would have been picked. You know, they would have traded up for him. But 5'11", 190. Under Josh McDaniel, that guy's going to have, 900 yards and 12 touchdowns his first year?
Yeah. And 700 yards after catch.
Yeah. So I now am left with the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks. PFF wants me to take a running back. I will not disrespect Super Bowl MVP Ken Walker III like that. I will not do that to this man.
Mm-hmm.
Their weaknesses obviously are on the defense. Now, they don't have, an elite pass rusher, so you could just say, fuck it, take a shot there. But, at a certain point, maybe invest a little bit in the interior offensive line. A little bit more. It wasn't great this year, but they went Gray Zabel in the second round last year, so I don't see a reason they necessarily need to. At this point, when you are the defending Super Bowl champion, you're basically the two options you have is take a shot at a position that you're already strong in and just see if you can get the next guy, or take someone with such a high floor that you don't even have to think about it. And here's what I'm thinking, Mike. I'm thinking they're going to go the high floor option, take a little bit of a long producer, someone who's been around for a little bit and has never really looked that bad, but isn't high enough to be the top guy off the board. Just Brandon Cease and desist. The South Carolina cornerback. So we're getting our results here, burn through this draft, and talk about things we feel good, feel bad about, and then probably get out of here after that. What's up?
We both, you did a shit job with the Vikings. I did a shit job with the Dolphins. Can you see it?
Yeah.
The graphic? Okay.
And these grades are always positional value or whatever, but let's see. We'll talk about our favorite, least favorite picks, all that kind of stuff. Let's just go to the full results here. What's up?
Should we explain real quick? So, we didn't take the time to figure out how to change our names in PFF.
Oh, you mean because I'm Iron Cobra?
Yeah. So when you joined, it gave us a name. He's Iron Cobra 63. I'm Swift Shark 44.
There you go. Okay, so let me rattle through our draft here one more time real quick. So number 1 overall, the Raiders take Fernando Mendoza. And by the way, if you don't understand AFC versus NFC, I'm sorry. I can't slow down to tell you every AFC team versus every NFC team. Just know if it's an AFC team, Mike or Fast Shark. What is your name? Swift Shark?
Swift Shark, how dare you?
Swift Shark.
Not fast.
Mike or Swift Shark took all the AFC teams. I or Iron Cobra took all the NFC teams. So number 1, the Raiders take Fernando Mendoza. Number 2, the Jets take Ruben Bain Jr. Number 3, The Cardinals take Arvell Reese. Number 4, the Titans take Jeremiah Love. Number 5, the first offensive lineman off the board, tackle Francis Mauigoa, goes to the New York Giants. Number 6, wide receiver Mekhi Lemon to the Cleveland Browns. Number 7, safety Caleb Downs to the Washington Commanders. Number 8, I'm just going to start running through this faster. Number 8, Saints, Cornell Tate. Number 9, the Chiefs, Spencer Fauno. Number 10, Bengals, Peter Wood. Number 11, Dolphins, Trinidad Chambliss. Wow, that was a fucking reach. Number 12, Cowboys, David Bailey. Number 13, Rams via Atlanta in trade. I did it again?
Jermod.
I did it again, Mike. Jermod McCoy. Number 14, the Ravens, Jordan Tyson. Number 15, the Buccaneers, Mansour Delane. Number 16, the Jets via Indianapolis, Caleb Banks. Number 17, the Detroit Lions took a guard out of Penn State, whose name I'm still not going to be able to pronounce. My apologies. Mr. Leone. Number 18, the Vikings take Nussbus, Garrett Nussmeier. I like how both of us got the F grade for taking quarterbacks.
Why have a Vega Ione? That sounds right. I said it fast enough, so it sounds right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Number 19, the Panthers take Keldrick Falk. Number 20, the Cowboys take Sonny Styles in a pick that they got via the Micah Parsons trade with Green Bay. Number 21, the Steelers take Avion Terrell. My apologies to Avion. Number 22, the Chargers take Cassius Howell. Number 23, the Eagles take Denzel Boston. Number 24, the Cleveland Browns, via a trade with Jacksonville from last year, take Caden Proctor. Number 25, the Bears take Caden McDonald. A lot of Cadens. 2 Cadens in a row. Not spelled the same, though. Number 26, the Bills take Akeem Mesidor. Number 27, the 49ers take Chris Bell. Number 28, the Texans take Kenyon Sadiq. Number 29, the Rams take Monroe Freeling. Number 30, the Broncos take Anthony Hill Jr. Number 31, the Patriots take Casey Concepcion. And number 32, the Seahawks take Brandon Cease. All right, Mike. Let's run it through here. What was your favorite and least favorite pick?
Real quick, I was going to say the winner is Ohio State with 5 first-round draft picks in our universe.
There you
go. My favorite first-round pick. I mean, I would love, I really do. I don't know something about it. The Sadiq to Houston thing just makes sense to me. I really like that pick.
That's a good one. That's fun.
Yeah.
What about your least favorite? What's your least favorite pick that you had?
1 second. I have to go to where it shows the team. So, Akeem Mesidor of the Bills, I like, but I'll be very interested on draft day to see how things fall, because it'll probably be something I like more. Avion Terrell to Pittsburgh isn't too sexy for me, but it kind of just fit what I think they need. One thing about this draft that I will say, the more we talk about it, maybe my opinion will change. But as of now, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers go off the board in the first round. I can't see that actually happening.
There's no way.
Yeah. So as we do more of these, that will definitely change.
Yeah. My favorite pick. Even from a homer sense, just Caleb Downs to Washington. Wherever Caleb Downs goes, that's the best pick.
Yeah.
My least favorite is one of the edges that fell that I just kind of had to eventually take. So David Bailey and Keldrick Falk would be the 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want an edge rusher taken between 10 and 50.
Why?
Because if you are an edge rusher, that translates pretty well to the NFL, because it is just the sheer, by sheer athleticism, it's the most athleticism-dependent position, and the production translates. So if you aren't producing well enough, or you don't have the measurables well enough in college, it's probably not going to be great in the NFL. So any of these guys that there's a rough question mark on that go between 10 and 60, I'm out on that. Anyone that is below 60 that you're he's young, had a 1 productive season, has one measurable that we don't like about him. The guys that are kind of dart throws, some of those guys are going to hit. And so I'm all in for those guys. But basically I want either a guy taken in the top half of the first round at edge defender, and ideally the top 10, or a guy that is a complete dart throw. So any of the edges taken, David Bailey was one of these guys. Keldrick Falk, like I already said, Cassius Howell, Akeem Mesidor, any of these guys that have a slight question mark, but not so much of a question mark, I'm nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. philosophy.
All right, Mike, that is our first 32-player mock draft. We'll probably, on a live stream at some point, do a 2-day. I doubt we're ever going to do a 7-round, because by the time you get to round 5, we're just going to be like, all right, I don't even know who the fuck this guy. Well, at least I'll be like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is.
I was like, you think,
but I can definitely learn enough to the first 2 days, I think.
There you go.
But we'll definitely do some more of this in the future, so have that to look forward to if you enjoy that segment. And if you didn't enjoy that segment, sorry about it. Mike, what's up?
If you were the Jets, would you give up 2 and 16 to move up to 1 and get Fernando Mendoza?
Yes. Because he is no question the best quarterback in this draft. He's coming off a Heisman season. And he's just like worst case scenario, he's what, Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would take, if you get Kirk Cousins with the number 1 overall pick, that's a good draft.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is never going to be MVP, but Kirk Cousins has been a productive NFL player for 13 years now, and will be another productive NFL player for another 2 or 3 at least.
Now, I guess the better question is, if you're the Raiders, do you take that?
Yes.
Or do you say, no, we have them into... Well, you have to, because that next year's draft class, it's shaping up to where it could be a phenomenal QB class. So,
right. And you brought in who you think is the best offensive mind. You have Brady behind the controls. And they're not going to trade back, because Brady's going to fucking love Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
He's a prototypical giant, not prototypical, he's a typical giant, white, read the field and throw the ball QB. My concern is that the guy averaged 175 yards in college because the defense and the run game did so much for him.
That is that number is low. Just letting you know that was an accurate number, but still.
How about that national championship game there, bro? Against real NFL talent. Suddenly he's, throwing the ball, 16 times in the game?
You hate him so much. I don't know why.
Aren't you worried that they treated him like Sam Darnold?
I don't know.
Aren't you a little worried about that? A little bit. Aren't you a little bit worried about that?
No, I'm not worried about that.
No worried about
the
it
Raiders, the Raiders could possibly, or the Jets could pull off a move where they trade their picks to move up, but then make another trade with the Raiders to get their picks back. Costner style.
Yeah, Costner style. Okay.
Costner.
I was wondering if you were setting up something for... There you go.
I meant to bring him in as a consultant during the draft and forgot.
If we had trades, it would have made more sense to bring in Costner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mike, let's knock out a few 2026, 27 predictions here.
Okay.
If we can burn through these, we can also do a prospect wordle, but if we don't burn through them, then no prospect wordle. That's how it works. That's how it works around these parts. So, Mike, here's a prediction we're going to burn through.
Okay.
Conference winners, Super Bowl, largest increase in games won, largest decrease in games won, and coach of the year.
Okay.
We're just going to do those 5. So why don't we start with conference winner? Mike, who do you have winning the AFC in the year of our Lord 2027?
I mean,
I can give you the odds if you want.
I won't just be boring homer guy and be like, the Bills win it all. So just to be a little more fun, I'm going to go with the other team that I wouldn't stop talking about this year. Duval.
How many of these do you have prepared? Just give me a rough number.
I love what they did year 1. I like what Ethan Cohen is building. Year 2, if they figure out how to use Travis Hunter well.
You just said Ethan Cohen.
I'm not. My bad. One of the Cohens.
No podcast for old men.
Yeah. If they figure out a way to use Travis Hunter and he takes a leap in year 2, that's going to add a big time weapon. So I'm still on the Jags
Do they
train.
even need to figure out how to use Travis Hunter?
With
the Parker Washington breakout, they got enough wide receiver talent.
Don't bank on the Parker Washington thing repeating itself, in my opinion.
Why? He was phenomenal in the second half of the season.
Phenomenal is a stretch of a word. He was good.
He's better than fucking Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
The AFC continues to be soft next year. I'm going to go Denver. They made the conference championship despite having a pretty flawed roster. A lot of their players are returning next year. Defense doesn't carry over year to year, so we'll see about that. But, with a healthy Bo Nix, they would have fucking won it this year.
Mm-hmm.
What about the NFC, Mike? Who do you have coming out of the NFC?
NFC's tough next year.
It's tough every year, brother. That's why it's the real conference.
It'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do. The kind of like retool in a couple spots. Like I'd like to sit here and say the Seahawks repeat, but the loss of Kubiak will be very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford's going to be another year older, so how confident do we feel in the Rams? So you know what? I'll say old Benny Boy's onto something. Old Piss Pants, he's cooking. The Bears win the NFC next year.
The Bears win the NFC. I'm gonna go chalk. I'm gonna go Seattle.
Okay, that's fair.
They got a lot of talent on that team. JSN looks like he's ascended as the best wide receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If Sam Darnold just turns over the ball less, do they win 16 games this season? 17? Like they definitely lost a game on Sam Darnold turnovers. Did they lose? Yeah. Can you say that they lost 2 on Sam Darnold turnovers?
Possibly. I know they definitely lost 1.
If Sam Darnold turns into last year's version of Jalen Hurts, where all he cares about is not turning the ball over, do they win more or less games?
I mean, if the way Kenneth Walker ran the ball in the playoffs after Zach Charbonnet went down is like an actual thing that he can do for a full season, then yeah, they don't need Darnold to do as much.
All right. And then who do you have winning the Super Bowl, Mike, out of your 2 conference winners? Unless you want to pick a third person, which would be outrageous.
That would be outrageous. That'd really go against everything I'm saying. Well, in that case, you know what it is, boy. You know what it is.
For the audio listeners.
T-Law for MVP next year. I'm calling it.
He went with Duval,
yes.
as it were. I'll take a Denver Super Bowl. Denver over Seattle. Get their win back. We get back-to-back revenge Super Bowl wins. Seattle undoes the Malcolm Butler. Denver undoes the Legion of Boom. And then the year after, what's another Super Bowl that needs to be undone? What's another revenge Super Bowl? We could go Bills over Giants?
Or the Commies.
Yeah.
Or the Cowboys.
Yeah, there you go. Just any of the teams from the NFC East, I guess.
Not named the Eagles, yeah.
Mike, who is going to have the largest increase in games won next year? The largest.
This is an interesting one.
In games won.
Because like you wouldn't like a team that could definitely make like a potential last to first or worst to first jump is like the Lions in the NFC North, but they had 9 wins. So how big of a jump do they need to get that? So it wouldn't be the biggest jump. Let's go with don't see a big jump coming there. I've given up on the Cardinals. Just completely said, fuck it, I'm done. I've given up. You know what? You know who I won't give up on though?
Who's that?
I won't give up my boy, Cam Scatabo.
Taking the Giants.
Giants. Win what? 6 more games? Get to 10-7?
10-7.
10-7.
I don't think we're gonna see. There you go. There you go. I don't think we're gonna see like the absolute rocket ship jump from worst to first that we've gotten the last couple of years with the Patriots and the Commanders. I think that those are pretty rare things to happen, and they happen in back-to-back years. So I am gonna go a little chalky here. My initial thought is Cincinnati going from 6 to like 11 wins or 12 wins.
Yeah.
But how would you feel about the New Orleans Saints?
I thought about it.
New Orleans Saints, 10-win Saints.
Win 4
10,
more
11
games.
win Saints, yeah.
I don't hate it.
Saints. Mike, who will have the largest fall off in terms of total wins?
So we got to go back to our bitch-made teams, you know what I'm saying? There was no team that was bigger bitch-made than the AFC Championship winners. The Patriots are going to have a real schedule next year. All right, I slopped my earbud again. They're going to have a real schedule next year. I think they go from 14 wins down to 10 wins.
Oh. Well, if you're saying only a 4-win fall off, I'm going to go Pittsburgh, who I think is going to
crater.
Suddenly realize how nice it was to have Mike Tomlin around.
That's true. All right, I'll up the ante. The Patriots are actually going to drop to 9 wins. 5 now.
Whoa.
Or could you hear me out? Defense doesn't translate the year it did before.
Right.
The Texans go from 12-5 to a losing record.
Yeah, everyone gets fired. CJ Stroud has to go back up Bryce Young. Makes sense. Makes sense, Mike.
Thank you.
And finally, Mike, who is going to win Coach of the Year next season?
Oh, I didn't know you were going to hit me with that one.
Well,
who won Coach of the Year this year?
Vrabel
Disgusting.
or McDonald, one of the two.
I think it was McDonald. It should have been McDonald. Coach of the year next year will be. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, it was Vrabel.
Okay, that's gross. I feel like Lamar is sometimes fueled by vengeance.
Like
He's
that
fueled
man?
by the yes, he's fueled by the doubters from the day he was drafted, and people thought he couldn't be a QB in the NFL. And now he has 2 MVPs. He's coming back with pure vengeance next year, and that will be good for Sir Jesse Minter, who is going to be the 2026/2027 Coach of the Year.
2026, 2027 Coach of the Year, Jesse Minter. I agree that it's probably going to be a first-year head coach. The question is, Mike, which one? Which one? There's no way it's going to be John Harbaugh, even if he absolutely turns around the Giants, because he's been around forever.
Yeah. That's why it should have been Vrabel.
Should have been me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with my previous thought there. I'm gonna go with the New Orleans Saints to jump up in wins,
Kellen Moore
and also Kellen Moore to win Coach of the Year
in his second year. Okay.
in his second year. It's usually a first or second year coach. Tyler Shuck, full season to Shuck.
A full season of Shuck.
He's gonna shuck it. He's gonna shuck it down the field. He's gonna shuck it, and they're gonna win so many more games. All right, Mike, that's all I got. We're at time to do a Prospect Wordle, so we'll return Prospect Wordle next week. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we leave?
No, I'm sick of talking to you people.
He's sick of talking to you people. I'm going to check the news real quick to see if Aaron Rodgers announced his retirement.
Nope.
Nope. Not yet. Mike, you got any plugs?
Follow me on the socials. Keep an eye on Town Alone. Show up for the live stream. Don't ring the bell. Take it from there, Em.
I mean, he basically nailed it all. We're doing a live stream tomorrow. We'll also have, well, tomorrow being Thursday, so we're doing a live stream on Thursday at 6:45. It's when we go live, Easter time. We will then actually be on the stream at 7. So it's about 15 minutes before we get on there, but we'll be live, so you can come hang out in the chat ahead of time. My allergies are so bad. I'm really trying to power through this. My apologies for getting very nasally. We are also doing bonus Olympic hockey pods after every men's hockey game. So Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday are the USA men's. I can't say men's anymore. Can you say men's? Mike, hit him with that word. Say that word for me.
Men's
hockey game. So we'll be live afterwards. Not live. We'll record a podcast afterwards to cover those. USA women's team dummied the Canadian women's team earlier this week too. And on Friday, I'll be here with Tyler Carcar to do a Basky talking about the NBA. And we'll be back next week to our one pod a week schedule, and we'll have plenty of time during the downtime to figure out what else we're going to do with all of this free time we have. It's the time parable. And Mike, with that, would you like to give any first round drafted players a shout out on the way out the door?
Shout out to Hakeem, a Miami Hurricane Dream, Mesidor.
Because Hakeem, the dream Elijah won, you see.
It rhymed.